So today we're starting a new series. It's a book club series for my own book, and we're gonna call this series The Devil's in the Details, for obvious reasons. Well, if it wasn't obvious, my book's name is The Devil's Odyssey, so nice play on words. Anyways, if you've never seen me before, hi, my name is Donovan, and my goal is to live an authentic and fulfilling lifestyle. So what does that mean? That means I have to be radically honest about who I am. And that's exactly what this book is. It's my life over the past 5 to 6 years, all the struggles that I've been through. I will say some of it is pretty heavy, but I think at the end of the day, no one is really talking about these things. They're considered, a lot of the things in the book are considered taboo, but I just don't feel like that's really working for us as a society at this point. So like, be the change you wish to see, am I right? So with that, the book, let's talk about it a little bit more, because we'll start with the fact that I said that I was going to finish it in 9 days, and I didn't. Like, I think we're on day 17 or 18 at this point, and we're still going strong. I think we're a little over 3/4 of the way of the book, 3/4 of the way done with the book. But we shall see, because truly, I did not outline this. It is on my life, so I am the expert, but I did not outline this. I'm really just telling this as if I was telling it to a friend, or if I ever have grandchildren, it would be like I'm telling it to my grandchildren, you know? Anyways, the fun part about this is that I'm writing and uploading it in real time. So you guys are you're seeing the full process of everything that's happening with this book, which I think is pretty cool, and I think it'll be fun to look back on, especially when I'm like 2 to 3 books deep, and I'm like, wow, that's really how you started out. Cool. But I also think Patreon is cool, just because I feel like there's so many times where you're like, I have no one to talk to about this. But the thing is on Patreon, you can comment in real time with the passages that I'm uploading. So it is kind of like a cool interactive way to engage with the book in real time with other people in real time. So I thought that was cool too. It's like, it feels like to me, like, you know how Love Island gets dropped every day? And then you're just kind of left on a cliffhanger every single day? That's how this feels to me. I think it's cool. But anyways, then, yeah, let's just talk about the book, because I don't actually know if I've fully stated like the point of the book, which I think could be helpful. Granted, I will say, whenever I first started it, it was hard to fully understand not where it was going, because I knew the ending, but the full way of unfolding it and the way to actually express what it is was not there for me. So I was just reading passages because I was like, this is what I have right now. But let's get into it a little bit more, because I think not everyone may understand. So if you do not read tarot, what is tarot? Tarot is a way to read energy. So each of the cards in the deck tells you, it has like an archetype pinned to it or like associated with it, and you start to get to know these archetypes, and you can start to feel these energies come off the cards whenever you're actually reading. And that's kind of how you get good at it. You just continue to practice. So I've been reading tarot for like 3 years, 2 years, 2 to 3 years. We'll go with that final answer. And one of the decks, when I was going to become a nomad, I had to pack all my stuff away, or I donated most of it, then I kept some of it in my brother's basement. So as I got to Thailand, I had already gone to like 2 different islands, and then I went to Bangkok because that's where my half marathon was. And I had packed and unpacked multiple times. For whatever reason, whenever I got to Bangkok, in the laptop sleeve of my backpack, there was just a random tarot card, and I knew that I didn't have the deck with me. I knew that it was at my brother's house. So I was like, that's weird. And when I pulled it out, I was like, no fucking way. It's the devil. And in that moment, it was me thinking, oh, I know exactly what this is about. And I was associating it to a man, because I was like, oh, that's the attachment that I have to get rid of. So here's the thing. The Devil Tarot card. Like I said, all of them have associated meanings. What is the association to the Devil card? It's attachments, obsessions, addiction, toxicity. It's your shadows. If you do not know what a shadow is, please look it up. it's going to do wonders for you to understand what it is and to start working on them. Your mind is going to be like a much, much better place once you start doing that. So I'm thinking devil, attachment, obsession, toxicity. Like, I had a toxic relationship with the attachment that I had to this man. And I'm thinking, oh, we're finally going to get over it. And that's when the story starts to unfold and you start to see all of the different ways that the devil shows up in my life. Not the man, but the literal devil, like attachments and obsessions, and it's all ways that we avoid what's going on internally with us. It's not being able to actually deal with your own problems internally, and you just keep suppressing emotions until at some point it bubbles up. And it felt like, oh, you can see me in the book slowly gaining awareness of everything that I'm doing to kind of avoid like actually fixing my life, if that makes sense. So that's more so the premise of the book, is the way that the devil shows up in all of our lives. It's about unraveling attachments to quite literally anything and everything, because at the end of the day, you can have a terrible attachment to both people, not even both, it's people, places, and things. You can have a terrible attachment to anything. And I think that kind of gets shown in the book is the way that you can use food as a distractor, you can use alcohol as a distractor, you can use drugs as a distractor, you can use social media as a distractor, you can use work as a distractor. Like, all of these things, you can just pick whatever weird thing that you want to focus on. And if you don't have a healthy mind, you're going to get an unhealthy attachment. Another thing is love. People have a weird attachment to love. And until you fully deal with it, you're always going to have unhealthy relationships. And so it's me unpacking all of this within my own life, so that way I can actually get to a place where I'm not attached to things, where it's like I'm attached to myself, not even attached. I just am whole within myself. And then that way, everything else that I do, I'm going towards that as someone that has a full cup. So anything I do is overflow, it's not depletion, you know? And so that's more so where we're going on this journey and what we're getting into with this devil card. So yeah, I think that is kind of where I want to leave you guys, because I don't want to spoil too much of the book while I'm still writing it. Just know that we're to the point where I think most of the background has been laid, so you guys kind of understand the backstory of how we get to where we are whenever I start in Bangkok. Because also this story, I do not think linearly. So it goes, if you've ever had a conversation with me, you know that I'm gonna have seven stories within one story, because at the end of the day, you need to know this story, but in order to understand this story, you need to know this story, and then to understand this story, you need to understand this. And that's very much so how the book is written. It's really as if you are my friend and I'm telling you a story, and it's written like a journal. So that's kind of where we're at. We're about to get into the true lesson learning aspect of the book. But yeah, I think there's some interesting stories in there. I think a lot of people might be able to recognize themselves in me, at least in certain parts, and hopefully the takes that I have can at least give you something to think about on how you can either do something differently to get out of the loop that you're in, or to be like, okay, she makes a point, but like, no. Either way, you're at least thinking about it, and that is the important thing, because it is not the answer that enlightens, but the question. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you want to read my book, obviously link is going to be in the description, but link is also in my bio. It's on my Patreon, it's under collections, and it is called The Devil's Odyssey. So feel free to go ahead and check that out. And then also, if you want a tarot reading, I do tarot readings, so you can find those on my Etsy shop. But yeah, it's been lovely chatting. I can't wait for us to do this again. More devils in the details. I kind of feel like I might bring friends on in some of them, because like all of them are keeping up. Again, all of this information in this book, wildly, no one knew about. Like, people know some bits and parts, but like the actual full story of all of this, no one knows. So my friends are also finding out about this as I'm writing it. So anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and all my love to you.